giving you the reels from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Yes, good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by Underdog Fantasy and the Cochran Firm. We're streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook, of course. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Come on. Boom! I know it's real rainy outside, but the Cowboys come back to Dallas for training camp. And they practice inside, and your boy will be there. So we'll talk about that here in a quick second. But today, we got a bit of an easy day, y'all. Not quite roll the TV out, but what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this roster from top to bottom, and we're going to go through the battles that are going on right now. There's some obvious ones, and then there are some ones that I believe that we need to talk about a little bit more. So make sure y'all stay around for that. And then in the roundup, the Cowboys have to get cut down from 85 to 80. I got 5 players that listen, are they not? Who knows? But I got 5 guys that I think that they should be calling their names. And if they don't, we'll see how many they hit and how many do not hit. Again, call in today if you want, 351-999-3787. Once we get to the actual roster breakdown, this is not a 53. We're not doing nothing like that. But we are going through the roster to talk about some of these battles. The number won't be on the screen, so make sure y'all write this down or y'all save it or whatever you got to do. 351-999-3787. Shout out to the Bomb Squad in the building.
Bomb Squad!
I see y'all, Professor O, Gene Jones. Interesting. My lady in the building, Gotti Baby, Iceberg Q, Joey, Danny, T. Todd, Ted Prickett, 6 to Midnight, Danny Macho Man Savage, Derek Fisher, Sin City Cowboy, Gregory C. Burleson, Uncut Coke, Below the Heavens, Swain, TC915, Bruce got the Toxic Juice. I like that name. I always find a name that I just kind of haven't seen or something like that. Brandon Wilder, Deshaun Latham, who else? We got a Toxic Tom, who still thinks that we care about Ryan. Hell no, we don't. He doesn't matter. Captain America, Danky Stank, Gregory, Turper21, good morning, Devin. Oh, that's D. What's up, D? Devon Overton. Sir APD, Steve Lupton in the building. Any Facebook? There we go. CJ Richards. Somebody yesterday said, who watches on Facebook? I feel you, but we on Facebook, so make sure y'all follow A to Z Sports Dallas on Facebook. What's up, Miss Lamitra H.A. Lee, or we just say hi, Lee. My guy set it off, Chris in the building. And who else? Eagles are trash. Hey, did you really win? If you really won your settlement or what have you or whatever it is, hey dog, can I borrow a couple of dollars? You know what I mean? Yeah. This is about to be Eagles are trash. For those who don't know, apparently he won a nice little penny from the VA. This is about to be him to all of us.
The money, y'all. There's poor people around.
Damn, dog, don't do us like that, man. Let's get a couple of dollars. Hold something. What's up, Dallas Young, Adam Mack, Alpha Mason, Marquin Greer, and the many more that are coming through. Y'all jumped up in here early. Let me hold a little something. What's up, Shaq? What's goody, Shaq, the Vikings fan? Salute to him. He's over there on the volume 306-ish gang, or 3-ish mafia, I should say. What's good, Trey? Joey V. Yeah, so he's on IR. That's what Toxic Tom is celebrating. He's celebrating that we cut Ryan Nall, didn't get picked up by nobody, so he made it back to IR. Hey, anyone you can take, Toxic. Anyone you could take, man. What's good, bro? My bro Lee in the building. Jay Versick and many more. All right, listen. Again, easy show. I'm gonna pull this out. It's kind of a rollout day. Weird because it's a Tuesday. Weird because we're about to go to at the last preseason game, but we're not doing too much today. No news came out. There was no practice yesterday, no press conference, which we'll probably get today. So a little bit of an easy day. We're going to go through this roster in a bit. But before we do that, let's hit this roundup and talk about some guys that we think might get cut.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Oh, let's do it. Hey, the Grim Reaper's calling today. I think that's what they call them in the NFL. They come knocking at the door and whatnot when it's time to get your name called. So they got to cut 5 more people. I don't think it's going to be difficult. Truly, I don't. I think they'll do some more finagling with the IR situation, and that's why you see this guy, Jeremy Sprinkle, here. So I got 5, and I'm going to start off with Jeremy. Y'all can list y'all 5 if you want. I think Jeremy Sprinkle, I don't think that Achilles is going anywhere. Nor, listen, I hope you get well soon, Jeremy. But quite frankly, we don't care. That's messed up. But seriously, Jeremy Sprinkle, is anybody going to be batting an eye if he's on this team? No. So Jeremy Sprinkle, if they really care about having a veteran tight end around who does nothing but block sometimes and play special teams, then go ahead and designate him an IR cut. But he'd be first up on my list. Apparently that Achilles kind of popped back up again. I don't see it going nowhere. I think it was Broadus who said it's kind of a reoccurring thing here. So, yeah, Sprinkle can go, unfortunately. So I got Jeremy Sprinkle as one of the 5. My second guy, I got Isaac Taylor Stewart, the long, rangy, athletic cornerback. 9 Deep's not going to want to hear this. Chuck P. 9 Deep, you ain't going to hear this, man, because I know that was your cornerback too. But Isaac Taylor Stewart hasn't really stood out in the preseason games. He made a few plays early on in camp and is pretty much kind of just disappeared. But listen, guy, undrafted free agent cornerback, what do you expect? Not everybody's going to be a Deron Bland drafted in the late rounds and stands out right away. So Isaac Taylor Stewart's the other guy. Now, I didn't want to cut too many of the corners, just like I don't want to cut too many of this next position, because they still have to play a game, right? And you're not going to play your starters. And I think you're going to start looking at your backups like, all right, I'll let y'all play a little bit, but I don't want y'all playing all the way to the 4th in this meaningless last game. So I got Isaac Taylor Stewart as my second one. Then I got, I believe it's Amon Simon, the right tackle, I believe number 61. He comes in late in the games in the preseason. What you want me to say? Mon Simon. Braylon Jones, the right guard. He just hasn't been good, man. But he's been sticking around with Dallas the last 2 years. I think it's an easy cut, bring back to practice squad, familiar, they like people that they're familiar with. So Braylon Jones, my other one. Now you got to be careful. Don't want to cut too many offensive linemen in this last game because you need them. Right, so don't want to cut too many. I cut 2. I don't know if they will cut 2. And then finally, wide receiver Jakari Robinson. Listen, he hasn't played. He's literally played 11 snaps in preseason. Pretty much nothing in camp that you see from him. That's not his fault, all of it. All right, I get it. No targets when he did play in his 11 snaps. Another easy cut. Bring back on the practice squad if you want to. However, I think they would look more towards Dontario Drummond and Ty Freifogel of the bunch. But, so Jakari Robinson. So those are my 5. Jeremy Sprinkle, Isaac Taylor Stewart, Amon Simon, Braylon Jones, and Jakari Roberson. Jakari Roberson. Let's see if you guys listed. So Professor listed his. He got Jakari, Josiah, Quandre, Simon, and Christian. Am I reading? I just read it, Gregory. Unless that is the list. Did that happen? And that's the other thing I wanted to tell y'all. This is before I saw anything pop out. going on Twitter right now to see if I didn't see anything yet. But that's before I saw anything pop out. Last week we got the list prior to today. Like we got it on Monday evening. So, but anyway, those are my guys that I thought of last night. Can you imagine an O lineman getting cut and Josh Ball saying goodbye to them? Toxic Tom? What does that mean? Oh, you want to cut Josh Ball? Oh, just hold tight. We'll get to Josh Ball. Joe said the same thing. Josh Ball belongs in the trash. Yeah, y'all not feeling Ball. I mean, I don't blame you. It ain't been good. Iceberg said, not going to lie, don't know any of them. I mean, these are, besides Jeremy Sprinkle, these are guys that are way far down the roster, right? Way far down. I am legendary. Next week, we cut down to 53. Season is almost here. Indeed. Okay, so Professor O was saying that's his list. That's what I thought. I didn't see anything drop yet. Joe Christian, Ball will be our swing. I mean, unfortunately, that's what it's looking like. Cowboy fans' comments about Steele in 2020. Joe, I would love for you to call in so we could talk about this. I see you champion this situation on multiple shows, but you leave out much context about the Josh Ball, Terrence Steele situation, and I would love to just have a conversation with you. We're going to talk about it here. I'm going to tell you why it's not nearly the same. Like, not even close to being the same. All right? And it's not about wanting all pros on the team. Go pop on the tape. I didn't even want to chop up tape this week for Josh Ball because it was terrible. In fact, we're not going to jump ahead. I'm not going to do that. We're not going to jump ahead. We'll get down to that part. We will get down to the Josh Ball situation, and I'm going to tell you why it's different. I'm going to tell you why Terrence Steele was the reason why we are in the situation we are. I've already said this to y'all before. So I put out a tweet on the Twitter streets. What was it? And I don't even think I got the phone lines open. Give me a second, y'all. My apologies. I put out a tweet on the Twitter streets on Sunday. It said, position battles that I think should be solidified this week. Tyler Smith, starting left guard. Matt Forniak. Found out it's Forniak. Your primary backup center. Kevontae Turpin, return man, and Deron Bland, your nickel number 2. When I did this, and then yesterday I was thinking, I was like, well, damn, there's so many small battles and big battles on this team. I want to look at all of them. So I said, let's do that together. Let's do that together here on the stream. And for those trying to call in, I did not open the lines. Now they're open. Now the phone lines are open so y'all can come through. So I was looking at this, and we can go through these real quick. I mean, we'll revisit it. But I personally think stop playing with Tyler. Stop. Just put him at left guard and let him work. Go through your lumps that you think you're going to have, which you're probably going to have because he's a young rookie left guard. It is what it is. I think he'll be better left guard than McGovern as a left guard. Matt Forniak. I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. I said it yesterday. I think he can play all 3 positions on the interior. And I wish they would have let him push for the starting center job, but they didn't. Kevontae Turpin, we have to talk about that. That's easy. And Deron Bland. Some people will say, well, you got to give Kelvin Joseph a chance. Read what that says there. Deron Bland, nickel number 2. Kelvin Joseph ain't playing nickel. For whatever reason, that's just what they choose. So he's not going to be sliding into the nickel. They want to put him on the outside if need be. He only played 7 snaps in there last year. And Deron looks extremely comfortable out of the slot. So those are the positions that I think should be solidified. Now let's get to, as I pull this up, the roster battles. And we're going to start with, we're using our lads. For those who don't know, just Google our lads. I think it's a pretty cool site for the depth chart. Now, it's not completely accurate, so ignore that aspect of it, but they pull up pretty much every player. And we're just going to run through it the way they have it here, all right? So let's start with wide receiver. Michael Gallup, I know they have him there as a starter, and Jalen Tolbert, but if we're being honest at this moment right now, it's CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown, maybe Jalen Tober. Who knows? It's probably Dennis Houston at this point. I don't know. But the roster battles here at wide receiver, I think, is pretty cut and dry. It's just a matter of how many they want to carry. But the TJ Vasher, I think, has fizzled out, right? Brandon Smith has made the most of his opportunities in the preseason games more than TJ Vasher. Started off hot in camp with the beautiful catch, but Brandon Smith has been better when the lights have come on. I don't think either make the team. It's so funny because you would think wide receiver roster battle would be one of the most heated battles in camp. It hasn't really felt that way to me. Noah Brown's been your wide receiver 2 for the Cowboys. Dennis Houston has been your, undrafted free agent surprise. Semi has improved. He's going to be on this team. There's no doubt about it. Jalen's your 3rd round pick. It's a very ordinary battle right now. I don't see anybody really jockeying for much position. It's Noah Brown and CeeDee Lamb as your wide receiver 1 and 2 right now. And everybody else just finds a place to be put in. So I don't really see this being much of a battle at the wide receiver position. But again, we're going to go through all these. I think Washington gets either cut IR or make the team IR. I don't know how they're going to do that with Washington. Gallup he has to start on. I personally think he should start on PUP. But PUP gives him 4 games. That's what I would do. Let him get as healthy as possible. All right, moving down to tackle. Let's just get it out the way right now because I see a lot of cap for this Josh Ball situation here. We ain't talking about Tyron. We ain't talking about, well, let's go. He's going to go on IR. If we're being completely honest, based off of the tape that we've seen over the last 2 games, based off of camp, I believe it's Avion, by the way, and I think I might have been saying it wrong, is Avante. Avion Collins has been much better than a Josh Ball. And I said this yesterday on Vach's channel, and I've said it here before. This is why these 2 situations are not the same. Terrence Steele, in 2020, when he got thrown into the fire, he got thrown into the fire because of massive injuries to the offensive line. He was never going to be your swing tackle to begin with like they're doing with Josh Ball. And the approach is different. In 2020, you had Cam Irving on your team as your swing tackle. And then you had Terrence Steele as what your 4th or 5th or whatever it was tackle. But then injuries happened and it forced him in to play. Let's fast forward to 2021. No. Let's not fast forward to 2021. Let's talk about what happened in 2020. Terrence Steele was awful. Terrence Steele was a liability. He hurt your offense more than he helped it. We act like 2020 Steele was 2021 Steele. It was not. So he played all those games, had all that experience, and that helped him because you start to see a little bit come along towards the end of the season. And then in 2021, we saw what happened. So let's hit 2021. 2021 comes around. Yeah, Steele had a terrible year in 2020, but they saw something in him, right? They said, well, let's keep him around, but we're also going to go out and we're going to go get a swing tackle, Ty Suzuki. For those who don't know, just go back a couple shows, we talking about. It's Ty and Seki. They covered their bases with Ty and Seki. They didn't just say, hey, Terrence Steele, it's yours. There was real competition for that. And Terrence Steele eventually won over a lot of the coaching staff, right? Who the hell is his competition talking about Josh Ball right now? This is no knock on Collins because Collins has looked better in preseason. In fact, Collins should get some reps at left tackle because Josh Ball has been poor at left tackle. Don't believe me, pop on the tape. Josh Ball was horrendous in the run game last week. And then 2 weeks ago, he was horrendous in the pass department. It was flipped. Run game week 1, he was okay. Pass game, not so much. Run game in week 2, terrible. Pass game, not so much. Regardless, even in some of his wins, he does not look comfortable. Collins looks more comfortable in his sets, looks more comfortable in his strikes. Still a young player, but clearly he obviously is more comfortable because he's played more. So I ask anybody, I don't care if it's his rookie year. See, this is the problem here. Y'all not seeing the full picture. I ask anybody putting on a cape for Josh Ball, do you trust Josh Ball to play 4, 5, or 6 games at left tackle, protecting the blind side of Dak Prescott, your franchise $160 million quarterback right now? Let's just get to the bottom of it. Let's stop playing around. Let's stop babying these guys, and let's be real about the team. Because we're about to have 2 separate conversations. One conversation is, yeah, sure, let him develop. That's cool. The other conversation is, make sure you protect your season and your quarterback. Those are 2 different conversations. The Cowboys did that the last 2 seasons. They said, still, we'll continue to let you develop, but we're going to keep an insurance policy on this team tied and second. Still, I know it was a rough preseason and offseason. We're going to let you be on this team, but we're going to keep a Cam Irving for protection. And guess what? You ended up needing both of those dudes. You ended up needing Ty Nsekhe and Cam Irving and Terrence Steele over the last 2 seasons. So as I put this thing to bed here, you can say, hey, don't kick Josh Ball off the bridge. I'm not saying you got to cut him. What I'm saying is, while he's developing, bring in somebody that you can count on. Because if you're going to look at me in the face and tell me that you trust Josh Ball to protect his blind side right now, I'm, with all due respect, respectfully, I have to call you a liar. I have to call you a liar, because it would be scary season if Josh Ball has to play 4, 5, or 6 games for Tyron Smith right now. And I digress. It sounds like we got a couple callers, so let's hit the phone lines. 903, what it is, what it do?
Scott? How you doing, Sky? You absolutely right, Sky. You hitting on facts like I don't know what. I like how you talk, man. You really think logical, and you just don't talk. You actually look at you actually analyze everything about each player from the forward to back to when they start to where they're at now.
I appreciate that.
When I saw you talking to Voch, I said how you like to change the idea around by saying Houston, because you did bring up some key facts, though. We got to see the progress. We got to see the work on the field first before we just start hyping everybody up.
Sure.
And you're right about Terrence Steele. Nobody wants. They're like, we want to get rid of Noah Brown. We want to get rid of Anthony Brown. We want to get rid of people they suck. But after a while, the people saw in what they had potential and let them develop. Because the truth of the matter is everybody's not good when they first start. And sometimes it's all about it's all how you coach people and how they develop.
I think we have to
time to get to the pro level.
Facts. I think we have to compartmentalize certain situations, right? Like you can say, hey, we want Josh Ball to develop, and also say we need to have somebody on this team we can trust when Tyron goes down. It's not just Josh Ball, it's other positions as well, but this is the topic of conversation. Right. And that's all I'm trying to get out there to the fans, because it seems like any time a creator or a fan critiques a certain player in a negative light because of the play, all we're doing is looking at the play. It's, oh, y'all ready to get rid of him. Oh, y'all try to compare it to something different. That's not the case, man.
Yeah,
we got to analyze what's happening in front of us.
You're right. We have to develop it. We just can't. Everybody's not going to be good coming out the door. I don't care with they first or second round or underdraft. Everybody have potential. You all depend how you develop people. And like you're saying, you do have to have people who can handle the job until these people learn and grow. And, it's also the purpose of setting new people down there and learn and understand how the game's played before you just throw them out there. Sometimes people got to learn the hard way, like Steele did, but he learned.
He learned,
and
yeah.
That matter. Like Anthony Brown, he learned. Not everybody takes him on the back. But you just think really, these people, this is their livelihood and career. They try to make money like everybody else try to make money. 100%. You can't just throw them on the best set of garbage. So they're the best of the best of all the college players.
100%. Hey, Doc, appreciate the call. Good stuff, man. I'm going to let you get back to work because I see you back there clanging and banging.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, thank you.
Appreciate you, man. What's your name? You hung up, man. I don't know who the caller's name was, but appreciate you calling in, being the first caller on the Pulse of the Nation hotline presented by the Cochran Firm. Cochran Firm has been the nation's premier personal injury, truck accident, medical malpractice law firms in the country. Their attorneys handle all their challenging civil cases on a contingent fee basis, meaning they only get paid if you win, and the initial consultation is free. So make sure you guys hit up the Cochran Firm in Dallas or Fort Worth, or visit CochranFirm.com for your free consultation today. And by the way, if you're new here and you're like, dang, why is he? This is just, I'm passionate. I'm just being passionate. That's all this is, man. That's all this is. Don't run away. Don't run away. The phone lines are definitely on fire this morning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to push through these roster battles. So let's get back into the battles. Hold on real quick. Yep, here we go. All right, so we got through the tackle situation. We talked about Tyler Smith, the guard situation. I 100% believe that Tyler Smith should be your guard. Y'all want to talk about Isaac? We talked about Matt Forniak. I'm going to mess that up. It's definitely Forniak. I saw the pronunciation today. We know Tyler's going to be the guy. Zach's going to be the guy. Terrence the guy. We already talked about Josh Ball. I think Braylon Jones should be cut. Isaac Alarcon. That's real quick. No, Ivan, that wasn't Angry Sky. No, that was Logical Sky. Coach Marv, I just, you must have just missed it, Coach. And let me get back to him, and my apologies on Avion Collins, because I kind of rode through praising Avion Collins to make sure that we got an understanding on Josh Ball. Avion Collins has been better than Josh Ball. Avion on the right side has been better than Josh Ball on the left. And I said this yesterday to Vach. I'm just perplexed why. Because they're not going out to get a swing. All right, cool. What's the next solution, Sky? Listen, we can whine and complain about it all day. What's the next solution? What's your solution? Well, let's try Collins over there and see what happens. Let's just try it. So I would love for them to do that this Friday. See what you got. Granted, it's going to be tough to get a real read because these guys are going to be playing against third teamers. But it is what it is at this point. Think about this for a second. Josh is struggling against second and third teamers. The hell you think they're going to do when he's going up against the Khalil Macks and whatnots of the world on down in, down out basis? Anyway, so yeah, Coach. Listen, I hope they give him a shot. I don't know if they will, but Collins deserves to at least be in that conversation. Let's get, before we finish off the offense, to the tight end position, because this is an interesting spot here too. We talked about Jeremy Sprinkle being cut, waived, IR, whatever. Oh wait, I did just go over Alarcon. My bad, y'all. Isaac Alarcon. So I'm not quite ready to throw him into the Wolves either. But from an athletic standpoint, he also looks more comfortable than Josh Ball. But context, right? Alarcon played a ton in the preseason last year. He's been on this team for multiple years, so it's not a surprise to me that he looks a little bit more sound. But I don't know if I'm just quite ready to throw him into the fray as well. So I will go ahead and use my exemption on Alarcon, and if you need to bring him up, you can. So he's one of those cheat codes. I'm not really rushing him in anything. So that's where I'm at with Alarcon. Fair enough. Fair enough. And Shaq, shout out to Shaq, the Viking fan, Shaq Edwards. They had Collins in Minnesota, so you would have an idea on how the kid was. But Sir APD, I agree. Alarcon has showed some growth, 100%. He looks much better this year than he did last year. Facts. Let's get to this tight end position, and then we'll get to the rest. So Sprinkle, I got Sprinkle being on IR. Or cut IR, or cut in general, doesn't matter. I know maybe at the start of this preseason we were thinking maybe just 3 tight ends save a spot. But I'm not ready to throw out a Peyton Hendershot or Sean McEwen. However, I was talking to Professor O about this. If they decide to say, man, 4 is a bit rich. We don't want to roll with 4, which they did last year. So, I mean, but different circumstances year to year. If they decide to say, well, we don't want to roll with 4, and it comes down to Peyton Hendershot and Sean McEwen, I might have to cut my boy Sean. y'all know how I feel about Sean McEwen. I really, really enjoy Sean McEwen. I think he can be a solid tight end for the Cowboys. But what I don't want to have is a tight end room that is repetitive. Sean McEwen, Dalton Schultz, Jake Ferguson, pretty much all the same tight ends to me. Whereas Peyton Hendershot gives you a little bit more of that. Who's the tight end that just got hurt? So you leave the Cowboys. He didn't just get hurt, but he got cut. Blake Jarwin. A little bit more Blake Jarwin. A little bit more athleticism. A little bit more speed. Some seam routes. Things like that. So Hendershot gives you something different. So I would want to roll with 4, but I haven't did my 53 yet. I might have to make a decision. I might have to cut one of these dudes. But that's where I'm looking at it right now. Dalton Schultz, Jake Ferguson, McEwen, and Hendershot. I like all 4 of them. Jim C., I'm glad you are here. You are incorrect, sir. It's Farney-A-C-K. John Machota just put out the Dallas Cowboys official pronunciation. So it's Matt Forniak. A-C-K. Because y'all be loud and wrong. Y'all love to do that. Go in the chat box or into the comments. Quarterbacks. I mean, Dak, whatever. We know Dak's there. Will Grier, that's my guy for quarterback 2. We'll listen to Coach McCarthy today, see what he has to say about his groin injury. I got a feeling it's probably not going to be great news, but I hope it's good news. But Will Grier is my second quarterback. I think he'll give you a better shot to win, even though Cooper won the game for you in Minnesota. I get it, right? He won the game. But Will Grier, I feel like, is a better quarterback. So that would be my 2. But Cooper Rush has been familiar with this team for years. I wonder if he still has the edge. And then at running back, we're talking about RB3, Rico Dowdle and Malik Davis. Y'all think they're going to carry 4? Pat Walker, shout out to the bro. He just put out an article that said, will Malik Davis make them carry 4? I don't know how we were talking about going short at positions and we're going to go long at running back. I can't see it, man. If they cut like a significant player for a running back 3, I'd be a little bit disappointed. I would go 3, but the competition between Davis and Dowdle, I think, is fierce. Cowboys Nation. I think it's fierce. All right, man. The phone lines are on fire. We'll get to this. We'll get to the defense in a minute. I was going to take my time on this, but because of the phone lines being lit up, I'm going to make sure we get to this. So we got 850.
How you doing today, buddy?
What's good? I'm doing well. How are you?
Okay, God bless you, brother. Still, there's Dallas Sports 1977 here in Tallahassee.
Well, let me turn you up. What's up, man? I see you in the chat all the time. Thanks for calling.
All right, God bless. I support you and Big James and Law Nation and West Coast Cowboy and all those other greats like Fan Talk and all them. But I just getting started about a year and something ago on my channel, and I'm trying to get it moving. But I support all y'all and everything. I had a talk with what my boy named Boss Cowboy about 3.5 weeks ago when I was in Massachusetts on a run, and he had said some things that he felt that I wasn't a true Dallas Cowboy fan, and I checked him and he apologized for it later because he misread what I had said. But I'm a true Dallas Cowboy, and I've been liking the Cowboys since 1966, and it's been a long time. I'm pleased with the way things are going right now. I'm not happy with Kellen Moore as an offensive play caller. I prefer that he would learn to use Tony Pollard more better than what he does use him with a 2-back system. I like how the preseason game was last week against the Chargers with us running the football. I think Will Grier should be our backup quarterback. And Cooper Rush, when he plays under the lights, he's I don't think he can handle the pressure, so I don't think he should be our backup quarterback. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, technically, he did handle in a way, right? Let's be real. If it's about wins and losses, he technically handled the pressure in Minnesota. Let me do this because I felt like I was being a bit disingenuous to Cooper Rush. he did have a solid fourth quarter, making the plays that he needed to make at the end of that game. I thought he was terrible in the first half. I thought what's the name saved him with the touchdown, said Wilson, and then he tried his best to give the damn game away on the game-winning drive. But nonetheless, it got done. Nonetheless, the lights were the brightest. He made the game-winning touchdown pass, so I can't quite agree with that. But here's what I would say, is that I think Will Grier is a more talented quarterback. I think Will Grier, his mobility helps. I think he has a better arm. The only thing he doesn't have is the experience in this system. Other than that, and he doesn't have game tape, right? Like he does have game tape, but he hasn't played with this team.
Cooper Rush does have it, yeah. But the point, what I'm saying is, my understanding of football is that I played the game and coach, and I used to be a high school football official here in Tallahassee. But I think Cooper, I don't think like when he gets to the line of scrimmage, and he sometimes he panics and he doesn't read the defense. Like the other day when he threw that interception. I mean, I don't know if the coaching staff is allowing him to change the play at the line of scrimmage or call the audible or whatever, but he don't go through his reads like 1, 2, and 3 reads. He whatever they call, he just does that, and sometimes whatever they call, it's just not working.
I mean, you're not going to get an argument out of me in regards to Cooper Rush being limited. I he is what he is to me. I would rather see what Grier has, but he's been with this team since what, y'all, like 2017. He left for 1 year, came back, so he's got He's been in 3 years now. I think longer than that. I mean, in the league, I think he's been in the league longer than that.
I'm talking about how long he's been on the Cowboys. 3 years.
I think something like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Well, I'll put it like this. I prefer that the Dallas Cowboys have the second position as a quarterback battle before they make a decision. Because, like for an example, if we need to protect Dak Prescott, we need like our offensive line, the guy what's the guy's name that they're giving up the penalties on holding and stuff? What is that? Ball, or that's the other guy, the other Tyler Smith.
Tyler had holdings in week 1. He didn't have any on Saturday. And Ball had one on week 1 as well. But I don't think there was many hold penalties from the Tyler Smiths and Balls and Forniacs in the world.
I would like to ask, who's going to be our starting 5 on the offensive line, because we need to protect our quarterback.
I think the starting 5, I think, is going to be solid. The Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, Tyler Biotis, TTT, and then Terrence Steele, right tackle, Zach Martin, right guard. I think that's your starting.
That's good.
Should be your starting. But
and our center, who's our starting center?
Well, it's going to be Biotis. I would have loved to see Matt Forniak get more involved in that, but they just didn't do it. So it's going to be Biotis. They sat Biotis. That tells you who's going to be the starter.
Right. Okay, like in the Chargers game, our running game did really great. The backups, the backups running backs, they played great. I give them an A minus or near A plus. The ones who's trying to make the team, I really do like how that went. And the boy that played in the United States Football League, the MVP of Turpin, he was fantastic during the season, because I watched the United States Football League this year, and he was amazing. And our Dallas Cowboys, we haven't had nobody as good as this young man in a long time to cause other defenses to respect our special team. And our weak areas are our special teams, our kicking. That's another area of concern. Is our kicking team? Who's it going to be our starting kicker? Because we lost games last year because our kicker, especially against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm
gonna be honest with you, I'm biased. I want it to be Brett Maher because of a joke that me and Vach have on the Vach Lombardi live show. But if let me put my analyst hat on. Brett Maher wasn't terrible last year for the Saints, and he just has a stronger leg. Like, he can be a weapon if you just need to kick a 63-yarder at the end of the half as opposed to throwing up a Hail Mary. Yeah, send Brett out there. Definitely if it's indoors in Dallas, Philly. Y'all know what we talking about. So I'd go Brett Maher. Hiram Hallelujah. His leg is just not that strong.
Right. I appreciate all the great work and content that you do Cowboy Fan Talk. He does great work, a boss cowboy. Me and Big Game James, I think he disagreed on some things I said a while back, but as a Cowboy fan, we're going to agree and we're going to disagree.
Oh,
but
yeah,
and
disagreements are going to happen, man. That's honestly, that's what I love. That's not what I love most about the show, but what I love most about the show is I always say, let's talk it out. Let's have a conversation. Let's debate. I like to debate. I like to have conversations. I learn things through these debates as well. So, that's part of being a fan, man. But hey, 1977, right? Or is it 19? What is it?
It's Dallas Sports 1977.
1977. Appreciate the call, good brother.
God bless you, bro, and take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Craig said Zerline looked good for the Jets. Trey, wrap it up. I got you. Yeah, Brett Maher, that's who I'm rooting for. In all seriousness, Professor O know what I'm talking about. And all y'all that watches the show know what I'm talking about. But I do want Brett. If it's going to be between the two, he has a stronger leg. He wasn't terrible last year. Just bring him on back. Just come on. Get done with it. Let's move forward. Sam said, you act like Forbath, the one that got away. You know what's crazy about Forbath? Wasn't that 3 years ago? Y'all know what I say, right? Damn it, we need a win. We still talking about Kai Forbath. Oh, we need to win. All right, let's get Coach Marvin here real quick, and then we'll go back to the defensive side of the ball, and we're gonna finish this show off with the phones because y'all.
What's going on, Sky?
What's up, Coach? Oh, let me turn you down.
Man, it's been a long time. I ain't talked to you, man. That caller just said the correct thing, man. And you said the correct thing, man. We all Cowboy fans. We all gonna have a different opinion on certain things. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, we want us to win. That's all that matters.
It's good, bro. Right.
So,
yeah, you're absolutely right, Coach.
Yeah. So, listen, man, Sky. I've been beating the table for this because I'm not just going on what people say. I actually watch it. I actually break it down and watch it. It would be a travesty if some type of way that if Collins is cut. Film don't lie. I ain't gonna say he's perfect. I ain't gonna say he's all pro.
Yo, it don't, Coach. Coach, remember you called me after week 1, and you were telling me about Collins because when I went back and I watched the tape, my eyes were focused on guard, center, left tackle. And so I sat back. I said, I can't even have an input on this because I didn't watch Collins, right? So I'm like, he's talking pretty highly of Collins. So after this game, I went back and watched Collins more, and I'm watching Collins, and this is what I did, Coach. I did one drive one watch through focusing just on Josh. Then I went one watch through focused on Collins. I said, I'll be damned if somebody try to get on here and lie to me and tell me that Josh Ball looks better. I'd be damned if you try to lie to me.
And Scott, this is what I had to do, Scott. Let me tell you what I did. I went through, and I like I said when I told you the first preseason game, I'm still skeptical. So let me see if he could do this again.
Coach Buttonby.
All right. So when I even went back to the
come on, Dak, get in here, man.
The practices that was the first practice that they showed live, the scrimmage. The second practice they showed with Denver. Then I watched the Charger scrimmage. And you got to be able to focus in on certain players if you're watching certain players and not. Sky, I mean, they don't look. It's not even saying you're all pro.
Nah.
But the same thing you see in the games, you seeing the same thing in practice. I mean, sometimes you got the offensive line getting beat, but he's not getting beat like a drum at all. And this is against Basham, which Basham beats Ball like a drum whenever he sees him. I mean, and when you work against our defense line, how deep it is, so you're going to get good work. So I just don't understand when this guy have a history. Then when you go back and look at the history, this guy had a history of playing on the left side.
I want when you told me to go look him up, I said let me go look him up some more. He does have some snaps at left tackle, I believe. And Shaq, if you're still in here, Shaq, you can confirm. I believe he play a little bit of left tackle over there. So I'm with you. I don't understand why he's not at least getting a look. So is it because draft pick? Is it because if it's about meritocracy, if it's about competition, Coach, Cowboys Nation, I'm gonna ask you a question. Who is Josh Ball?
You pointed out perfectly. If it's about playing, it should be no question. But if it's about this other political stuff about this is not our guy.
Let me ask you a question. Who is Josh Ball's competition right now at left tackle?
He has nothing.
My point. Right, Coach? So, that's crazy to me.
Well, I think I'm gonna say this right quick. I got one other player I want to talk about.
Sure, go ahead.
I'll say it like this. This is what I think they're gonna do, Sky. We might not want to see it, but they probably gonna carry 2 tackles. I don't think they're grooming Josh Ball to be a swing tackle. I think they groomed him to be backup, just to go out there if Tyron Smith is out. If that doesn't work out, you're gonna see Steele go to the left hand side and Avery Combs going to the right hand side, and that's how they're gonna work it.
So what they going?
I might be crazy with that idea, but that's how they're gonna do it.
What are they gonna do with Josh then?
Huh?
What do you think? What are they gonna do with Josh in that situation?
If he doesn't work out, then he may be on the road out of here. But if he blows up, they're gonna move Steele over, Collins in. He might not never see the field again. That's just how it's gonna be. He's gonna have a shot. If Tyler goes down, they're gonna give him a shot. If it don't work well quick, he's gonna move him.
I see. Okay, so you're saying he'll get it first. Okay.
Yeah, so they're gonna give him a shot first, but they feel good with probably Collins at right tackle. But the other person, and I want to say this right quick, you talked about the tight end. I did my breakdowns of tight ends. We have upgraded greatly with our tight end blocking, Scott. I love Hendershot and our draft pick. They are very good blockers.
Jake
love their blocking, and they don't even have their man body. They don't even have their NFL body yet. So when they get their NFL body, there'll probably be some very good. But Hendershot even though he's got a lot more wiggle, like you said, is different, but he still blocks better.
I think Hendershot is not your
block better than Sprinkle.
He's not your blocking guy. That's not what they're going to ask Hendershot to do. Hendershot would be your worst blocking tight end on the team right now. I think McEwen, Ferguson, and Dalton Schultz are blocking tight. They came in as blockers, right? And one thing I had to talk to Vach about yesterday, very underrated is Jake Ferguson receiving coming out of college. People think, Big Ten, Big Ten, they don't throw the ball out. They don't. But go look at his history in the Big Ten. I think he's like the all-time leading tight end or something like that at Wisconsin.
He had a great Senior Bowl. He had a great Senior Bowl catching the ball. Got very great raise about him catching the football in the Senior Bowl. So he has come out. But like I said, Sky, again, same thing I've seen with you. I know we say Hendershot is underrated is not the greatest blocker. The film of the game shows the guy is a dedicated blocker. And
that's the word.
Both of them block better.
That's the word that I like. Dedicated.
Sprinkle is horrible.
I'm not, but what I'm not going to do is ask Hendershot to take on blocking responsibilities against the tight ends. The defensive ends and tackles and whatnot in the league. I'm just not going to do it just
neither
yet.
One. I don't think I don't want to match none of our tight ends like that. But I think with outside linebackers and just cut off blocks, they could do. And then if they come out, they do well.
Get in the way.
Good to be able to get off the line of scrimmage and get down the field. I think Hendershot will give us that tackling of the middle of the field.
Yes.
In our passing game, which that is one of the problems with our passing game. We don't attack the middle of the field as much as we need to. Between the areas between 10 to 20 yards in the middle of the field, I think we get too restricted on the outside the numbers, and then below the 10-yard mark in our passes in our.
I have a theory. I got a theory why, because they just won't. They won't commit to a slot wide receiver. They just won't. And the time that we did attack the middle of the field from the slot, the best over the last 3 years was with or 2 years or whatever you want to call it, was in 2020 at the beginning of the season when CeeDee Lamb was your focused slot receiver. But the last 2 years it hasn't been that way. Said Wilson, I like said, but he's not that slot that I'm talking about. So, if you go get yourself,
when we do that, Sky, when we attack the middle of the field, our offense is much better.
Any offense would be
20 yards in the middle of the field. But when we get so restricted to the outside and outside the numbers, we get bogged down. So attack the middle of the field. Great reward in the middle of the field. High risk sometimes, but great reward.
Yeah.
So, Sky, what you do, man. Keep pushing out great content, man. And salute you and Vosh, man. We do a great job in the afternoon, brother.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you, Coach Marv, and with all the wisdom you always bring. Even if we don't, matter of fact, let me give you some flowers real quick and salute to you because you said just hold tight on Tristan, and
I figured that.
And Tristan came in.
We shouldn't trade him, Scott. We shouldn't trade him. He's only gonna get better.
I don't want to trade him right now.
The more he's gonna get.
Coach, we ain't gonna get. We gonna get what, a 6th round? I'm not trading unless if you can get me somebody that can play better than Tristan at a different position. I'm all for it. But I think he's played enough that you could put him in that rotation. Now I won't go as far and say he's your second best defensive tackle, and I won't go as far as say I'm gonna put him out there for 30, 40 snaps. But I do. If you're gonna have a rotation, just give me all the talent as possible, Coach.
Yeah, I thought he would be the backup 3 anyway. That's all I thought. I didn't think he would be a starting 3. I thought he'd be the backup 3. That's what I had plugged in before the training camp started. Backup 3, no more than 15 to 20 plays a game. You won't get maximum out of him. That's it.
Yeah. But I wanted to make sure I get your flowers on that. The phone lines are going crazy. Let me lock these up.
Sky, have a good one, brother.
You too, man. You too. Y'all know how I feel about the slot. I did a whole damn show about that. I had a whole graphic and everything up about it. Cole Beasley, Randall Cobb, CeeDee Lamb were your most successful slot receivers. CeeDee Lamb and Said Wilson had some success last year. CeeDee Lamb and Said aren't just slots though. I think they reaped the rewards of having either Amari Cooper outside and then Michael Gallup for 2020 on the outside. Which, whatever. You got your production out of it. But I don't know who that guy is this year. Is it CeeDee Lamb? Kellen Moore is going to earn his money. The first, I'm going to guess and say Gallup is going to go on PUP, which is only 4 games this year, y'all. So I'm going to say PUP. He's going to earn his money, his keep, whatever you want to call it, in the first month of this season. Because CeeDee Lamb right now, and probably always been, but is your best slot receiver. Well, part of me, and allow me to talk to y'all for a second, part of me believes that's holding him back a little bit on what he can do as a boundary guy with his athleticism. I personally don't think we've seen full potential boundary wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. So you move CD. They're going to be moving him around. Noah Brown, Jalen Tolbert, Noah Brown, Dennis Houston. How is that going to work? Going to earn his money. Do I think, Scotty, think they have Dan Q baking up some of these guys for trades? Anybody see me put on my tinfoil hat yesterday on the Vosh Lombardi live show? I just didn't like I didn't like McCarthy's tone when he was talking about Tristan. It felt like a guy he knew was on his way out the door via trade or something. But that was me just being conspiracy theory. So do I think that Dan Quinn or the team is pumping some of these guys up for a trade? Very possible. I mean, let's go to defense. Let's go ahead and move over to the defensive side of the ball. We talked about this before. You're 12 deep. You can't keep all 12, so how do you do this? How do you do that? I just talked to Coach Marv. I don't really want to trade Tristan, but I would imagine they might be picking up that phone. He's on the last year of his deal. I doubt they're going to re-sign him type of situation. So maybe they're looking at it, try to get something for him. They don't do well in these situations, but hey, it is what it is. Josiah Brunson had a nice play. Big Cat had a sack. Fine and dandy. Those guys aren't going to make the team. Terrell Basham is literally every game, every joint practice is screaming to the Cowboys nation and the fans in the front office, do not cut me. And I know when we did this kind of project before, Terrell Basham was a very popular name to cut. Again, if he's a vested veteran and you're looking to bring him back, sure. But I personally don't. I think Terrell has earned his keep. I would keep him. As much as Tristan Hill, and it really was that play really stood out in that game. As much as Tristan Hill has been balling, like I said yesterday, Quentin Bohanna needs to be in the conversation for right up there for any defensive tackle the way he's playing in camp and preseason. He's right there. So Q ain't going nowhere. Los is underrated, but he's the veteran of the group, so you can bring him back. And then obviously you got the starters in Osa, Neville, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Dorrance Armstrong. Yesterday, very interesting from y'all. A lot of y'all were like, yo, cut Dorrance Armstrong. I didn't see that one coming. I even saw some people say cut Chauncey Ghost. Didn't see that one coming. Yeah, I'm not going to cut DA. It costs you money to do that, literally, like more money than it does saving you. And then I'm not giving up on Chauncey Golston, a versatile guy, can do some inside-outside things after one season. I think he's done some good things in the preseason. Not as good as a Bo and a Tristan Hill and Dante Fowler's, by the way. Dante Fowler, just saying, get ready. Get ready for an 8+ sack season. Get ready. So how do they do it? Hey, Aaron said they kept 13 defensive linemen last year. How? How did they do it is where I want to know. Was it 13 originally? Then you put some guys on IR and things like that. I understand. We got to remember Chauncey Golston. I believe he was hurt for a little bit to start the season. I can't remember the roster in general last year. But Chauncey was hurt, but he did come back in like week 3. So I'm not really sure how that worked out. It all depends how they make it go down. Maybe you can go look it up, Aaron. When the original roster was done, how many did they keep? And then did they make any moves prior? Because here's what's going to happen. Michael Gallup and maybe even, where's he at? James Washington might make this team originally and then get cut. You know, they do funny games. They do funny things. So if they kept 13 last year for real, like really 13, and not like, oh, hey, Hamilton's on the practice squad, that's who we're counting, and then things like that, then yeah, you keep all 12. But I have a hard time seeing them keeping all 12 without some funny business happening. All right, let's get back to the lines, and then we'll jump back into the roster battles. Man, lots of callers. Lots of callers. Let's get to, I believe this is Mel.
King Sky, what it do?
See, I realized the number now, man. What's up, Mel? Yo. See, I'll be thinking of hanging up on people, but they did. Hey, Mel, I'm at to put you back on hold because I ain't got you no. Mel.
Can you hear me?
Got you now.
I'm rolling through this LA traffic, bro. So it's bad out here, man. My bad.
I do not envy you. I was only in LA for a hot minute, and the first thing I noticed was, damn, they put the damn airport smack dab in the hood. It's dirty as hell around that airport. What the fuck is this?
You a fool, dog. You a fool. Every airport is in the hood, though.
Man, not DFW. But anyway, go ahead.
Man, so I kind of want to deter you for a minute. Give me a minute. I didn't want to call yesterday with my doom and gloom because it was after a win. So I figured I'll call Tuesday with my doom and gloom so that way it won't be too bad. But I did have a question for you. I know we all excited about Turpin right now. We really excited about Turpin.
You ain't finna put no wet blanket on Turpin right now.
I'm not going to – no, it's not going to be on Turpin.
Okay.
But it has to do with Turpin. We all want to see him have a bigger role than just special teams. That's kind of been what even I've been hearing you saying. I know I want that. We all been kind of saying that. I want to ask you, over under 3, how many touches does Turpin get outside of kick returns and punt returns per game. Over, under 3.
You want me to be honest?
Yes, I do.
I want it to be over, but one of my mantras on this show is, man, I work with the data that I'm presented with, and then I try to form an opinion from that. And the data that I'm presented with is we got 1 year of Kellen Moore having a guy similar to him and Tavon Austin. Did Tavon Austin, did he get 3, 4, 5 touches a game? No. And
no.
The front office came out. Remember they called the web back. They said all that, and I think it was Jerry Jones came out and said, "Yeah, we want to get Tavon Austin 10 touches a game." And he was just talking crazy. Never happened. So based off of history, I have to say under. But right now, Mel, and you heard me say this yesterday, your wide receiver position, and if we're being completely honest, is just going to be a bunch of possession guys that you hope can come on early, and you hope that they can just bust out and be Victor Cruz and Miles Austin in their prime after 4 weeks of training camp. You hope that, right? But in reality, none of those dudes possess game-breaking ability that Turpin does. So if we go into the season, my thought process is CeeDee Lamb's your guy, Dalton Schultz, Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott. Focus on those dudes. And then after that, put the ball in Turpin's hands as opposed to the Dennis Houstons of the worlds, the Noah Browns of the worlds, when you need to get a spark or something like that. So I hope they do. That's a long-winded answer to say no. I think it'll be under, but I hope it's more than 3 because right now, given the situation at wide receiver, he gives you the most juice opposite of CeeDee Lamb.
Period. I mean, I think really it's no doubt about it, man. The kid definitely has a lot of juice. I just don't think we have the creativity within our offense to be able to utilize it. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate, man. I hate to be doom and gloom about the Turpin thing because I know we all, we really excited about him. But
I wouldn't say that's doom and gloom. I just think you listen, we know what we have here as an offensive coordinator, and the history says that doesn't happen. What only thing I'm trying to pump a little bit of optimism or hope is that maybe he understands the situation now. There is no CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, Seth Wilson out there, right? So you got to switch things up.
Off what you just said. I'm going off the data I'm given, and the data I'm given says he ain't he hasn't.
You know what? Before we do all that, can we figure out how to get Tony Pollard the ball more than 5-6 times a game? So let's focus on that first, and then yeah.
My other one, man, is this Josh Ball situation, bro. Honestly, when everybody was saying how bad he was, I kind of, I was kind of seeing the preseason games. I wasn't really at the practices. I'm just kind of seeing the reports. I had a chance to watch that Chargers game. Oh my God, it's so criminal to me how this front office paid Dak $160 million and then gave him a practice squad for wide receivers, because that's what this group is. This is a practice squad. If you think about it,
come on,
almost none of these guys. Sky, tell me where I'm wrong in this statement.
No, keep going.
If this is last year, Dennis Houston does not make the team.
No.
Tell me where I'm wrong in this statement. If this is last year, well, I guess Noah Brown did make the team, but barely.
Noah Brown went from being your 5th, 6th wide receiver to your 2nd.
Yeah. So everybody under him barely makes the team.
And not because he pulled some Victor Cruz mess, right? Like he just he went off in his opportunities last year or Miles Austin. Nah, just by default. But continue.
Well, keeping it 100, Noah Brown played because Cooper got COVID and CD had a concussion.
Well, that's not what I'm talking. I'm just saying when he was given the opportunities, he didn't snap, right? So it wasn't like, hey, he's our two because he did this in the season. He's our two because he's our two by default. But keep going with your so we can land this thing.
Oh yeah. So you gave Dak a practice squad room at wide receiver, and then you gave him Josh Ball for at least three games. We know Tyron's going to be out at least 3 games. And to me, as long as you got Tyron as your starting left tackle, you should always have a vet or solid insurance right behind him. You should not be going in with such uncertainty at left tackle with $160 million at the quarterback position if you say you're in a win now mode.
I mean, you ain't gonna get an argument out of me with the tackle situation. But I think this is a clear case of Terrence Steele's development made them a little bit arrogant, behind Tyron Smith. And okay, whatever. You're confident in your guys. It's not illegal to be confident. But once you get some evidence that maybe we're not quite ready yet, the second-year player who hasn't have a snap in the league and who's been struggling a bit, maybe then go make a call. Or bring in competition. Here's my thing. What was wrong with real, actual competition? Why are everybody scared to go sign a veteran swing tackle and say, beat him out, Josh? Not beat out the injured shoulder of Matt Waletzko from North Dakota, not State. That's all.
Front office negligence. But anyway, King, man, I'm going to jump off of here, bro. Let the next person get on, man. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for jumping on here with us this morning. Giving up the goods.
You already know, man. Appreciate you, Mel. Listen, boy, I don't even know. This line is crazy. If you're not in here, you just ain't getting in because it's way too many. I got to lock it up. How the hell we going to get through all this? What time is it? 9:30, 9:40? Let me see where we at on the depth chart. We talked about Izzy yesterday. We talked about Duran. We talked about the corners. Linebacker's interesting. Because Luke Gifford, I wonder if he's going to stick around. Devin Harper's a draft pick. He'll probably stick around. We know how we feel about Jabril Cox, Barr, Micah, Van Der Esch. Those are your top 4. Story, I think they're going to try to sneak on the practice squad. Malik Jefferson is not going to make this thing easy for Luke Gifford. Sam Christian, he'll probably not make the team, but he's had a good little preseason. So yeah, we ain't gonna go through the rest of this because I want to get these calls. Y'all seem very passionate today, so let's go ahead and get back to these lines, man. I don't even know where to begin. Jesus, we got Boss in the building. Hold up, what up, Boss?
What's up, man?
Boss Cowboy, by the way, for those because everybody say, "Hey, what's up, Boss?" Nah, this is Boss Cowboy.
What's going on, man? I'm excited to see you today, big dog.
What's up with you, man? Oh, you going down, right?
Of course.
All right, I see you down there, man. I see me, you, and Law probably gonna be kicking it down there.
Yeah, big game in town too. So yeah, we.
Oh, is he?
This gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He just took down this morning. So he's actually here for the Frisco training camp. So this the last of our views, bro. So I'm excited about it.
It's the last chance for us to see them in person at practice. They're closing this thing down tomorrow.
Right. So yeah, just real quick, man. My phone started blowing up. Somebody said that they checked me. So I want to kind of just bring the public up to speed and tell the truth on that matter. What happened was my boy 1977, he called in and he said that he would be happy if we made it to an NFC championship. And I told him, and I still stand by this, that we lowered our standards when we are just happy to make it to NFC championships. The standard of the Dallas Cowboys has always been Super Bowls, not playoffs, not NFC championships. I never was checked on that, and I always show all my callers respect. So I disagreed with it, but I still respected it,
Yeah.
So I just wanted to be clear on that, because my phone started blowing up. So somebody said they checked you, boss. I'm like, okay, what happened? And they told me, I called in, So anyway, But I'm cool with everybody, and all that kind of stuff, and just want to just put the real truth out there. But number two, Scott, I've been thinking about something, bro. I've been thinking that with Swing, I think it's over for Swing. I think it's too late now. I think if we have 4 season games, we could bring in an outside Swing. But the fact that we have one left,
right?
I just think we ran out of time.
Yep.
I agree with definitely competition. For sure, it would have been great to have competition. But I think at this point, I think they already had their mind made up. And when I listened to the OC's video yesterday, and I just thought about it even more, they don't even really have a Swing. They more so have a left tackle backup and a right tackle backup.
That's what it looked like.
Because they didn't even go through preseason like they did with the guards. Like they was moving McGovern left and right, and they was moving
Forniak, yeah,
from center to guard. So they was working on their contingency plans at the guard position, but they look like they going into it with a plan of just having a backup left tackle and a backup right tackle, which from reps and getting stable reps is not too bad, but in terms of preparing a traditional swing, I don't think they did that, man. This is some wild management that they're doing.
It's crazy.
Especially with the success of Collins, like with the way Collins played even against Denver, like how do you not even get no reps with him at the left just to get it on film and to get a look at it with the way that ball was struggling? So yeah, man.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, I think it's too late for a couple of these things. Like people are saying, people complain about bringing in, competition or bringing in veterans. We're complaining because that should have been done. I agree with you. At this point in time, you have to start preparing for the next team. Now, I'm not saying, listen, acquisition is 365 days a year, so you technically can still bring in people. Don't get it twisted. But they should have been did this, or at the very least after the Denver game or after practices, say, hey, let's bring in some competition. But they didn't. And like I said earlier in the show, it seems like they're going to roll in here with Josh Ball as your swing or left tackle. I don't know what they're going to do with Collins yet, but I don't know how you can look at us in the eyes, boss, and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to keep Ball over Collins. So they probably will end up keeping two.
And I think you hit it dead on the head, man, when you said we got cocky over Steele. I think the success of Steele just put a whole lot of faith in Stephen Jones to Will McClay that he felt like he can find a starter anywhere, And for the most part, maybe Will McClay has done that, but that's very risky. I'm just interested to see how it's going to play out.
I am too. I hope we don't get a chance to see it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't see it either, but it sounds like they're going to go through the process of Steele to where Steele developed by fire, and they're saying that they're going to have somebody protecting Dak's blind spot by fire. So that they're going to have continued running backs, helping out over there and running the ball aggressively. It's going to cripple our offense. It's going to take it from a high-powered to more of a traditional style smash mouth if you got to depend on ball on that left. So we'll see, man. I don't want to I know you got a lot of callers, man. I just want to kind of get off real quick, man. But thanks, man, for everything you do, big dog.
Appreciate you, boss. Make sure y'all follow Boss Cowboys Sports on everything. You're everywhere, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm everywhere.
All right, fam. I'll see you in a couple hours.
See you in a couple hours, big dog.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro.
Let's get – I'm just clicking, man. 978.
You.
978 was good.
Good. How about you?
I'm good, man. Who this?
Nate.
What's up, Nate? Nate, dog.
What's up, Skywalker? What's up?
What you got for us today, Nate?
Are you ready for week 1?
Indeed, brother. I mean, the Cowboys ain't quite ready yet. They got to figure out the team, the 53.
Yeah,
but I'm ready. I'm ready for some real football.
Yeah, same. We gotta fix the penalties. That's what kills us.
Yeah. We cannot be an undisciplined team this year, man.
How you feel about Turbin?
I think he's an explosive little dude, man. And given the situation at wide receiver right now, I hope they give him more opportunities from an offensive standpoint. But from a return standpoint, dude is going. I mean, if they kick it to him, dude is going to help you fill position out.
She put him at wide receiver.
Yeah, he plays wide receiver. He don't play running back. So yeah, they give him some opportunities. See what happens.
All right. How you feel about Mike McCarthy?
Mike Parsons won the bet. Who?
Mike McCarthy is in the hot seat.
Yeah, he's on the hot seat.
Tell him more.
This whole entire staff is on a hot seat if they don't get it done this year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All starts with Jerry. All
starts with Jerry. What's your name, bro?
Yep. Nate.
Well, appreciate you, Nate, dog. Let me keep it moving, man.
All right, see ya.
920, I think. Or did I just do 920? 920. What it is, what it do?
Hey, Scott Walker, this is your boy Carl Young.
Carl? What's up, Carl?
What's up? Hey, I'm calling. I got just a couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling. You remember I told you about that guy Turpin?
Yes. Yeah, you made me, as you were talking on the phone, right? You was like, man, Turpin this, Turpin that. I said, hold on, stay on the phone. Let me go look him up. I started looking at the highlights, and as you were talking on the phone, I said, God damn, dog. This little dude can move. So, yeah, you the one that kind of made me really go look at Turpin live, actually.
Yeah, and I'm saying now, this guy is going to be dangerous. He's going to be dangerous. And it's going to come to the point where people is not going to kick to him.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be good then, because like I said yesterday, Carl, I think some punters and kickers, they start shanking stuff. They start thinking too much, and things get a little funny. But also, if you're going to kick it out of bounds, cool. We get the ball at the 25 every time, as opposed to the 20 or the 19.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, I believe, even on the kickoff return, I believe he comes out the end zone. If he can catch the ball in the end zone, he's coming out. And he can at least get over 20 yards. I think the Cowboys going to have a lot of good field positions, man.
Now, I think that's one thing he's going to have to learn to understand, though, right? Like, not every return is returnable. 2 yards in, sure, I'd say, give it a shot. 4, 5, 6 yards in, you might want to hold off. We don't want to become reckless.
Right. It just seems to me. It just seemed that way that this guy just, I believe he made up for the first preseason game. He didn't have that feeling, and he wasn't, because we talked about it that first preseason game, and you said he can't be doing all that 5 yards out, and he calling for a fair catch.
Yeah, he got to bring that out in the first. But did you hear what he said, Carl?
No.
He said the reason why he did that was because he wanted to understand the speed of the game first. So I was glad to hear him say that.
Yeah, and my last question is, I on that offensive line, I was kind of worried, coming into the season with this offensive line, and even losing Collins. I was kind of worried, but I'm feeling good about this offensive line. I like that. What's that guy Collins?
Avion Collins. Yeah.
Yes, man. They need to keep him. They need to find a way for him to make the squad. They do.
If he gets cut over Josh, you can't tell me it was about a meritocracy, right? You can't. It'd be some politicking. Politics as usual.
And I'm not so down on Josh either, though. I think dude, he was hurt last year.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Let him develop on the side somewhere. We need somebody in there that can protect my $160 million franchise quarterback. The baby gloves are off. Okay, this ain't the baby gloves are off. Go ahead and develop, but
I'm not going
developed over here.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to argue with you on that. It's the same thing.
Dak not done yet. I wasn't going to give you no goddamn on attention, but, bro, call into the show. What's your number? And boy, you really tested me, fam. Yeah, he's small. Me and Carl talked about this. He a itty bitty. And what did I say, Carl? I said, I want to see this man get hit. I want to see him get hit. 153 pounds, 55 pounds is tiny. That's little.
Yeah.
So I want to see him get hit.
And that's in the back of my mind. You know, I'm thinking about
weirdos out here, man.
The first time he get hit.
Yeah. And he hasn't.
You going up to you're going to be at the Thursday?
The
Stephen A. Smith.
ESPN thing? I don't know. So I got a plan. I'm going to try to operate for Thursday, but it starts today.
Yeah, we got to get on. I don't know why they allow Stephen A. Smith to come there, man. I cannot stand that guy, man. I can't stand Stephen A. Smith, man. I don't know why we allow him to come there and just talk all this smack.
You know why.
But I got a good feeling this year, dude. I got a good feeling about the boys this year. I do. It's really in me. I got a good feeling we're gonna have even Madden. They feel that the Cowboys been in an NFC Championship. You know, so we gonna leave it at that. Glad to hear from you. I missed you yesterday. I think you had a lot of callers. So
I got a lot of callers right now, Carl. I got a lot of callers right now, man. But
but I appreciate you, man. Keep doing the good work, man. And
the conference has been locked.
Appreciate you, Carl.
All right.
All right. I already did 920. 903. Just lock that one. 903. What it is? What it do?
Hey, Brother Sky. It's Theo or Ted.
Prickett?
I've talked to you before, and yes, sir.
What's good, Ted?
I want to jump back to the roster cuts on the offense real quick.
Sure.
I think the final spots between running back 3, 4, and wide receiver 6 comes down to Davis, Dowdle, and Houston. If Dallas feels like they need to keep 6 wide receivers, then we're going to either carry 3. We're most likely going to only carry 3 running backs. If they feel that they can get away with putting Tony Pollard in the wide receiver slot position more often, then I think we're going to go with 5 wide receivers, and we're going to keep Dowdle and Davis on the roster. But those are just my thoughts, and I'm going to drop off.
Man,
have a good one, sir.
Excellent call, Ted. Thank you, Ted.
Volume.
Yes, sir. You know, you just kind of made me think about something, and combining what you just said to me and Voss were having this conversation about the fullback. If the Cowboys are going to be one of those running teams, remember we talked about, hey, man, if you're going to be a running team, a team that leans on the ground, and that's how you want to try to win the Super Bowl, you got to have an elite defense, and you got to have a real commitment to the ground game, and I think you have to have a committee in a sense. In the 90s, maybe not. Now, I do think you have to have a 2, maybe 3 backs, not just one guy anymore. So, real quick, and I'll get back to the phones. If we're going to be that style of running team, 12 personnel, we're not going to run a whole lot of 11. You're not going to see a whole lot of, Dennis Houston out there with Gallup comes back probably week 5 if he gets pupped. But you're not going to see a lot of 3 wide receiver sets. As I'm talking, shit, do we go 4 running backs? I mean, if you're going to commit, and this is how we got to do it this year, we got to run the ball 40 times. I think you're going to need to do it with 3 backs, not just 1. And then if you're going to use 3 backs, like really use 3 backs, then you got to have a 4th one in case one gets hurt. So, yeah, I mean, something to kind of pin, man. Something kind of pin. All right, let's get back into it. I'm really going to do this thing for y'all. There's at least 10 callers on here. I'm going to try to get through all of them. Twan, what's good?
I forgot you. You remember me.
Come on.
What's good, Scott?
Come on, Twan, man. Listen, I know who you is. What's up?
Okay, for sure. Glad. Hey, first of all, Scott, real quick though, I'm proud of the work you're doing, man. I've been seeing you in the press conferences, going to training camp this year. Keep up the good work, fool. I see the growth, man.
Thank you, fam. You definitely have literally. It's a good handful of y'all, but you definitely have been here from day one. So salute.
Mm-hmm. Salute. I'm not gonna lie, real quick on the offensive line. Yeah, I am. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit scared on it because I really thought we was gonna get a really decent swing tackle after we were early on in camp. We've been hearing that Josh Ball is really living up to par. I'm not out on Josh Ball quite just yet, like the other caller said earlier, but I do see why the baby gloves do have to come up because it's like, bro, we got a franchise quarterback to protect.
Yeah, I'm not
you
about
can't play around with the left tackle position.
I'm not about cutting my 4th round pick in year 2. Remember we have 2 conversations, right? Don't kick him off the bridge. What you do is you allow him to develop over there while you have an insurance policy. That is the solution.
Mm-hmm. For sure. As far as Devontae Turpin, I just kind of knew he was going to do that. It was just a matter of time when.
Matter of time.
As you know, he really outshined the league, and I'm just like, I was jumping up and down when I first seen them 2 punt returns and kickoff return touchdowns and stuff. But my question to you is this, though. Do you feel as if we have to either trim down the amount of safety or DBs we have, or do we have to trim down the amount of wide receivers we have? Because like you said, though, are we either going to become a team that relies heavily on our defense, or do we still want to probably be offensively heavy? But the thing is, you can't really do that with the unproven wide receivers we have right now. So I just wanted to know, like,
great question.
Can we do both?
Great question, Twan. If I had to pick, I'm going short at wide receiver to keep my DBs. I'm all in on this defense being what's going to have to get you to the promised land, right? We've talked about that for months.
Mm-hmm.
That they're going to have to get you to the promised land. So if that's the case, I put more emphasis on that side of the ball as opposed to, and let's just be completely honest, who will be our Dennis Houston or Semi? And I like Semi Fehoko. Do you believe he would be a guy that would be more valuable than a Israel Mukwamo if those guys needed to be called upon? I think Izzy would be a bit more valuable. So that's kind of, and I'm not saying cut Semi. I'm just saying, think about if you go into the season, you got to rely on your 6th wide receiver, or I got to rely on my 5th safety. I feel more confident about my 5th safety in Izzy because of what's around him on defense. Obviously, the progression I've seen from him and my coaching staff. So,
yeah, Izzy's really definitely flashed to me. I heard people were really knocking him last year because he wasn't physical enough, or he probably was still adjusting to the transition. Because I believe coming out of college, he wasn't the best rangy. Like, his hips weren't really there because he was a corner. But I think, with the year development, I really like how rangy he's become and more physical he is, especially with Marquise Bell. I even thought Marquise Bell was going to low-key take Izzy's job. But nope, Izzy's been right there.
Yeah, well, Bell was impressive too. I think I would love to keep all 5 of those safeties.
For sure. Well, that's all I got for you, Scott. As always, keep up the good work, man. I'm always going to be watching. Salute.
Yes, sir. Salute. We might have to play clock game, man. We might have to play clock. Los, what up, Los?
Good morning, Scott. Good morning. I'll make my phone call quick, man. Hey, week 1 is getting closer and closer. I just want to say this. Expect this Friday, this last game of this preseason, to be more physical, and the last opportunity for some of these players to make a case to be added to the 53.
Facts.
And Cooper Rush better play the best game of his year to be in consideration, because I think the staff already has his locker packed for,
Yeah.
And I'm focused on 2 players, which is Nashawn Wright and Marquise Bell. You were just talking about it. I think they can be key contributors on the defensive side in key situations in the red zone, just because of their size and physicality. And I think Dan Quinn,
I want to push back so bad, but I ain't got time. Yeah.
My bad.
I wanted to push back on the Nashawn Wright thing, but I can't. So yeah, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, and I think Dan Quinn can coach these 2 guys up. I think that's a value, just having Quinn and himself on this roster. And if they don't make the 53, hopefully we can keep them in the practice squad. And offensively, this is this is the wide receiver battle, man. Cooper and DiNucci don't help, but I think we're probably going to carry 6, but technically 5. And here's my list: CD, Gallup, Brown, Tolbert, and Houston, and the 6th being Turpin, just because he has to be on the roster. And you already said it, I'm not going to get to it, but we can all agree that defensively,
we ain't going down the whole thing, Los. Land this plane, bro.
All right. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I mean, we have always had talent. That's never been the problem. Kellen and Steven McCarthy and Jerry better get the talent out of these guys. It's not, and give them opportunities and not to being paid upstairs. Cough, cough, Ezekiel Elliott. All right.
Salute.
That's what I gotta say. Peace.
So, hey, I gotta say this because I'm pushing through this for y'all. You gotta have a point, and that's your point. We cannot go through the whole roster on the rest of these calls. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a whole lot of y'all in here, and I'm gonna get through them because I said that. I promised y'all. But you need a point, not 7 of them. You need a point, and if I can talk about it, I'll talk about it. If it's just a statement, it's a statement. But we're not gonna do 7 different topics. All right, y'all. I hate to be that way, but we kind of in a crunch here. Yeah. Nacho, what's up?
My man. Hey, let's give McClay and the scouting department some credit.
Always. We never knock Will McClay.
On Turpin, absolutely. I think they found a gem. We haven't had a special teams ace like that in years, and I'm really excited about that. And the field position, he should be able to give us. And then I'm just going to go one more. Let's find ourselves a veterans length tackle. You know, the Eric Fisher is out there, and let's solidify what we got to do. Let's go into the season. Those are my 2 points, quick and fast.
I love it. Appreciate you, Nacho.
Okay. Oh, my man. Have a good day.
You too. 662, what it do?
What's going on, my guy? How you been, man?
Man, I've been good. Excited to go check out this training camp here in the back. What you got for us?
Okay, check this out, man. I see how everybody hard on Mike McCarthy, but at the same time, I'm one of the ones that vouch for him, and I want to say, man, he's also responsible for one of the best teams we've seen here in probably over 20 years. But I want to get back to the point to where we have we do have a lot of weapons on offense, and to be able to use Turbin in the offense the way that I know we can and be good at using him, I have to put behind me the Kellen Moore growing pains and hope that he's past all his growing pains and hope that he can actually get this offense up to rolling, because we do have a top 10 quarterback. We do have a top 10 running back and potentially top 10 wide receiver. So I just wanted to get that out there to you, my guy, and thank you for the opportunity.
No, thank you for calling. Good call, man. I agree. We said this a while ago. Even with the depth issues at certain spots, you do have a core of guys: Lamb, Zeke, TP, and Dalton Schultz. If your coordinator can focus on getting them to rock, that should be good enough offensively to be competitive. I'm not expecting to be a high-flying offense this year. I don't care if we are. Just be competitive, be clutch, right? Be clutch, and let this defense do its thing. 510. What's up? 510 going once, going twice. Sold to 484. What's up, 484?
Hello.
What's good, man?
What's good? How you doing? Listen, I just, want to make 2 quick points. I just hope that they get a good swing tackle for Dak Prescott, because it'll be a shame if we get our quarterback hurt, because if he's done, our season is over.
Yeah.
And like me and you was talking about yesterday, I hope that Kellen Moore really sits down and gets some game plans for that number 2, that Turpin guy, because as you see, everybody's buzzing. And when everybody's buzzing, it's because there's something special in him. So I'm just hoping that Kellen Moore, sits down at the drawing board and get a couple plays for that young man, because we're going to need him. Because if Gallup is not there for a couple games, we're going to need all the everybody to contribute and help us get over the top. Because I think we can do it this year, because our defense is solid. I think our defense is going to be solid. Because once that front seven, you know what I'm saying, once that front seven starts smashing people in the mouth, you think we cause havoc. Last year in the secondary, this year's going to be even crazier. But that's all I got to say. My name is Ronnie. Still, you do a good job representing Pennsylvania, and God bless you and the show and your family too.
Thank you, Ronnie. You as well. Appreciate the call, man. 406. What's up?
What up, Steel?
What's good?
Love you guys' show, man. You and Watch, and this is my first time calling in the years, but I just want to
thank you.
At this point, man, are we for sure that this offensive coaching staff is not going to ruin this opportunity that we have? Our defense and our defensive coaching staff and everything, all the pieces that we have on that side of the ball are, in my opinion, a generational, like, Legion of Boom status type defense and staff.
Ooh, shit.
So do we believe that this coaching staff on the offensive side of the ball, and I believe in Fassel, so I'm not worried about the special teams, but it's the offensive side of the ball that I worry about. Are they gonna blunder this opportunity? And then if so, at what point do we pull the trigger on Sean Payton?
Oh,
at
well,
what point does Jerry Jones?
It'll be after.
At what point does Jerry Jones step up to the plate with his he said, I'll write whatever check I need to bring a Lombardi Trophy to Dallas again. Blah, blah,
that
blah.
point will be after the season.
And Sean Payton's his boy.
He was on
You
right.
think so?
He was on the right track. Yeah, they're not gonna bring in Sean Payton in the middle of the season, brother. You had me in the first half. They're not gonna do that.
So then, at what point do you? So you would okay. So then if they let McCarthy blunder this opportunity with this defense, they're going to let him stay on staff the whole season, or are they going to move Quinn up for the rest of the year?
Now you're speaking more realistic. Yeah, that is a possibility. I think we'd have to be awful for them to fire Kellen or fire Mike McCarthy in the middle of the season, but that would be your solution mid-season is to elevate Dan Quinn. But the question you posed is the $64,000 question, right? Do we have faith? Do we believe in Kellen Moore? Because that's what I'm going at. I believe in Dak. I think Dak is. I know how I feel about Dak.
Oh, 100%. I believe in Dak.
I like our running backs, right? I like our starting offensive line. I like CeeDee Lamb. I like Dalton Schultz, a tight end. Like, I believe you have the pieces, right? Even with the lack of depth on the offensive wide receiver position, when you lack depth in a certain spot or when you lack talent at a certain spot, it then comes back on who? Coaching, right? So I always say coaching helps mitigate that gap in certain games or in certain position groups or what have you. I've been saying that for years. So to me, it comes down to
defense.
Facts.
Exactly.
Facts.
We've seen that on defense. Dan Quinn came in with the worst statistical defense in years and flipped it to a top 10 defense.
Facts.
And now we're gonna be a top 1 defense. Hands down, generational talent on defense.
Oh.
It's just if Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy can get this shit together on offense, man.
Kellen Moore. I can sit here and lie to you and say it's going to happen, but I've got 3 years of data of how the trend of how our offensive coordinator operates. Now he doesn't have that same type of weapons in the sense of aerial attack. So I'm hoping by default he has no choice but to change. Kind of like what's his name, offensive coordinator prior to him, Scott Linehan. Scott Linehan had to switch it up when he got here to Dallas, and it worked. So can Kellen in year 4 switch it up? That's a TBD for me. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass. I got to see it happen, before I'm sitting here like, yeah, Kellen Moore's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, he definitely has a lot to prove, man, this year. Hey, love you guys' shows, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate your call. Come on. It wouldn't be a show if you didn't end, the calls with the other Marv. What's up, L.A. Marv?
What's up, family? How you doing?
Now, listen, Marv, we can't be forever, Marv, so I'm going to let you do your thing, right? I'm doing well. I hope all is well with you. But what you got for us?
Okay, man, this is what I got. Now, they're going to be in that 12-man personnel. The tight end is going to save 75 on the running so he don't get his butt whooped. And that's how they're going to do that. Receiver-wise, Houston, 81 going to make the team. Speed kills. Now, y'all do make a good point with Kellen Moore, like you say. You can put 81 out there with number 2, number 20, 88. That's so much fast power. 18, you can destroy teams. You got to do see what San Francisco did. They was had one receiver, and then they got the guy from SMU. They threw a bomb. Now everybody know San Francisco throwing bombs. we got to do the same thing. We got too much speed to be,
I would love to have
what
San
you call it?
Francisco's scheme. And let me give you a real quick, Marv, and let me give y'all a little something. At camp, I looked over the Vosh and said, "Did you see that? They had that kind of little that San Francisco toss cut back play in the playbook. They did it twice, and I said, "Ooh, put that back in the tuck." Some things at camp from the running game department and the personnel department seem to be tweaked. I've been saying it for the last few weeks, but let's see it during the regular season. But if they can do some of those things that I've seen been tweaked in camp, you're going to have a different looking offense.
Yeah, because like the one guy got on here, and he said we got. I'm gonna tell everybody on here, every team in the NFL got practice squad receivers, but you gotta let them play. You're gonna always get a gym out of all. Everybody gonna come up with a gym, so don't worry about that. And Dak is ready now because he's making the receivers look good. You know what I'm saying? He made Cobb look good. He made our boy that left look good that went to Miami. So he gonna make all them look good. Now we got that running game. We got 12-48 is here now. The help 86. They're gonna be a beast. So I'm not worried about that.
Oh, Marv, we know. We know 100%. You ain't worried about nothing, Marv. You ain't got to tell us that.
You know that.
Yeah.
we know well, tell him more. That's the key to your Super Bowl. If he call the right plays, we're making it to the Super Bowl. If we don't, then we all gonna be crying again.
Well, I agree. I think Kellen is going to be one of your most important pieces. But I go a step further and say how he game plans will be more important to me than the actual play calls. Play calls are important, but the game plans last year in certain situations was like, what are you doing? So, but hey, Marv, great call, Magic City Marv, says Jay Lombardi. Great call, man. Good call.
Oh yeah, before I leave, still tell Boss Cowboy, if you're listening, man, please have the system like Steel, so we all could call in and you could put us on hold and then let us in. Please do that, Boss Cowboy.
I'll mention it to Boss when I see him later today.
All right, thank you, brother.
We did it.
Shalom. Thank you.
Sorry for blowing your ears out like that, but I'm proud because, y'all, we really had about 20 calls on here, and we got through all those damn calls. So, and I got to use the bathroom. so I wanted to do that, though, because I had to cut it short yesterday because I had Doc Talk with Dr. Boothby, which will be dropping later today or tomorrow. We talk about James Washington's injury and Michael Gallup's recovery. So we'll drop the Doc Talk video sometime this week, either today or tomorrow. Later on, like I said, I will be down at camp, so follow me on Twitter. I'll be having updates and things like that. And here, make sure I click that bell because I'll be sending some photos or some footage to our team to post on the YouTube channel. And remember, no fancy little segue today. We do have the Fantasy Draft League that I believe we have a date, September 3rd. Hold tight with me, man. Hold tight. 2nd. I think September 2nd, which is a Friday. We're going to try to do that live here on the channel. And the only way you can be a part of the Fantasy Draft League is by downloading Underdog Fantasy app or visiting the website, putting in the promo code ATOZ and making a deposit as minimum of $5. They just need a deposit so they can see it. And then they match the deposit so you'll have $10. And then we'll know who is entered into the drawing to be a part of Fantasy League. If you just want to do fantasy sports and you want it to be easy, right? Because I think it's the easiest place to do fantasy. Just go to Underdog Fantasy, still put in the promo code ATOZ, draft one of your teams, and enter the Best Ball Mania 3 challenge where you can win up to, not you, but they give out up to $10 million in prizes. You set your lineup, you forget your lineup, and you're good to go, man. So make sure you check out Underdog Fantasy and use the promo code ATOZ, baby. Woo! Shout out to y'all.
Bomb Squad!
Just let y'all know right now, we're getting all these long ones out. Because during the season, we're going to have too much to talk about, and I got to compartmentalize the correct way. And if you didn't watch the roundtable Sunday, I got my boy, my bro, Okoye Media. Shout out to Okoye Media. Make sure y'all check him out. We're going to be bringing back the Okoye Wednesdays or Thursdays, whichever one. Y'all know how we do during the regular season. Monday, we react. Tuesday, we kind of look at a little bit of the tape. Wednesday, we start studying the opposing team. Thursday, it's the opposite, offense, defense. Friday, kind of a free-for-all. So we got a plan for the season. It's fun. If you aren't here, if you missed it last year, I think you missed a fantastic, fun season. You had ups, you had downs, but y'all see how we do on this channel. Y'all see how we do. We have a good time, man. We talk real ball on this channel. All right, so salute to y'all. I love y'all to death. Make sure y'all hit this sub button on the way out. If you haven't, hit the like button on the way out. And tune in later tonight for Mauricio Rodriguez, A to Z Sports Prime Time. I'm going to go ahead and hit this button. Y'all the best. Yes, Professor O. Can we get the Professor O obscure stat? Oh, wait a minute. Let me see if I still got this, Professor O. I had a little thing for you. Oh, I think I got rid of it. Hold up. Wait. Run it back. I have something for you, Professor O, so I need to bring that back, bro. Let me this butt again. You got a Colombian wife, Ron? Pray for you, brother. Pray for you. Shout out to you and your wife. Salute to y'all. We out of here. Love y'all. Peace.